Perfect. We got so much to talk about, but we only have 29 minutes with you guys. So I know Jen's going to do a little bit of training tonight on the Buddha Bowl parties that she's been hosting. A lot of people have been asking about them. So she is going to run through that, which is great. But before we jump into Jen training, nice to see everybody. Does anybody have any thoughts or comments from the Adam Aussie call that was this week? What did you think? Did you like? Did you have guests on? Did anybody close a deal?
I have a question. So I remember from Brian's talk, it was you have the conversation, like his upside down triangle, and then you get them to the event. So the Adam call, that was the event, and then try to get them on a three-way, right?
That's right. Yep.
That's right. Okay, so that's where I am now. I had a couple people on the call, so I'm just trying to get them to a three-way.
Yeah.
That's easier said than done.
Yeah, three-way or coffee date, or just to get them focused and to do it as fast as you can.
Yeah.
I think Dax had somebody on the call that was quite interested, and right away he reached out to the leaders to say which one of you can jump on and do a three-way call. Okay. So definitely important to do. I had a gal that couldn't make it but was interested because she used to live in Australia and she's got a lot of friends in Australia. So what I did is I sent her the link.
Yeah.
And I already booked a meeting with her in her calendar, in my calendar, to do that follow-up.
Okay.
So just, I'm assuming she's watching it, and I'm going to follow up with her. My date's already in the calendar to follow up. So it's kind of like making sure that that step happens.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think that's a critical step. I think what ends up happening is people watch it, they get excited, they kind of, he answered a lot of objections, which I think is brilliant.
Yeah.
The top 3 or 4 fears that people have, he kind of addresses. And people get excited in that moment, but then guess what happens? Life gets in the way, and you go back to the grind, and you do your 3-hour commute, and you come home, and you go to soccer, and you feed your kids, and you fall into bed.
Yeah.
And you forget that, you know what, it could be different, but you don't know what different looks like because you're back in the rat race. Mm-hmm. So I think that's why that 3-way call is so important. Okay, somebody says they have a question about a 3-way. Yes, fire away.
That's me.
Oh.
So what exactly is a 3-way call, and what's the script, or what do we talk about? Like, is this where you actually, get them to sign on? Is this kind of the final step in the process, or?
Pretty much. It would be like, let's say, for example, Tina, you had a guest that was on with Adam, and they were quite interested. They messaged you, said, thanks for inviting me. So the next step would be, great, let's jump on a call with my mentor, Nicole. She's been in the business for 13 years, and she'll be able to answer some of those questions that you probably have. And then you offer them kind of 2 dates. Or, is Thursday night at 8 going to work for you, or Friday morning at 10?
Okay.
And we do like a Zoom like this. We would just get them on this call, and then there would be 3 of us. You would introduce me to your guest, and that's it. Then I would own the call. I would be the one that would ask them questions, find out what their pain is, ask them what they liked about the video, and then find out if they could see themselves doing what we do, and pretty much close them. So that's what a 3-way is. They're very effective. I would say that most of our success comes from 3-ways. Jen Brennan, do you have any comments on 3-ways? I know you do a lot of 3-ways.
Yeah, guys, they're so powerful, and it takes all the weight off of you. So being a brand new person, you don't have to stress. I know some people do get a bit worried with their uplines. They're afraid that they're going to be too pushy or whatever. As long as you guys paint the picture of what your prospect is like, we're not going to go on and be pushy for you. We're just speaking from our heart. It's another perspective, and sometimes they're not always going to jive with you. And so it might just be somebody else painting the picture of what actually can happen in this business or with this product. honestly, I'm all about them. I do them all the time. Oh, look at this.
That's lovely.
You want some sugar tonight?
Oh.
Anyways, yeah, just guys, get people onto three ways. I'd say 90% of the time we close them. And I do them for sidelines as well. Like, just think of somebody that's going to relate to the person that you're trying to get, and don't be afraid to ask them.
Yeah.
So can I just ask one ending question then? So at the end of that call, do you always, what do you say? Are you ready to sign now, or like, or do you actually close them in the call? Is that the intent then with most prospects?
I just go with the vibe, honestly. I've closed people on the call before. I've let my person that I'm doing the call with close them. Sometimes I'll just text them and be like, all right, this is your moment to like let them shine. And then other times I'm just like, all right, guys, I'm going to love you and leave you. It was so great chatting with you. I'm going to leave you to chat with Tina now. Tina's absolutely amazing. If you have any more questions, I will totally get on with you again. You just have to read how the conversation is going. Sometimes people are totally resistant. There's no way in heck I would ask for a close.
Right.
So it's just, you got to kind of vibe. And I always just end up in normal conversation with them, like just like this right now. It's never anything spiely. It's just, I just kind of go with and like see how they're feeling.
Okay, makes sense. Thanks, Jen.
Cool.
Yeah, for sure. And like an example would be, we had a naturopathic doctor get on it, and it was kind of like her first exposure, but she definitely was far from signing. And so the second exposure was, I got another naturopathic doctor to get on. So we had 4 of us. So it was 2 naturopathic doctors, myself, and then we were able to close her with the other naturopath on. So sometimes it takes a couple calls, and we try to mirror up the right person too at times. If it's a specific person, maybe in a specific career, kind of leveraging our team. So if I need to speak to an athlete, it might be like Jen Brennan might get on, or I'm the nutritionist. So a lot of people on the team use me as a nutritionist. You're the nurse, Tina. You could start to leverage that, you know, as a health professional. Sometimes I have to take off my nutritional hat and just pretend I'm the mummy, because it, you know, being a health professional at times does not serve me well at all, because it intimidates a stay-at-home mom. And let me tell you, honestly, I'd rather be working with a ton of passionate, like, stay-at-home mummies or daddies that have a huge desire than snobby, difficult health professionals that are going to take years and years to close and do anything with this business. Not that I'm, you know, not loving on them. It's just, and you know, I'm seeing some smiles. You get it, right? I mean, we can be very hard and difficult. So.
Yep. That's so true, Nicole. Yeah.
Good stuff. Any other thoughts or comments about Adam? Like, what did you guys, like, did you see him doing anything really different than what we do with the Healthy Living Revolution calls?
I thought he was really awesome, and his brother was super like cool too, and like high energy, right? You could tell. And I liked what he said, is that you don't have to know a lot of people. He knew very few people. He started with one young girl who wanted to travel, and then from there he built this $1 million business. It's like pretty amazing, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I like it because there wasn't a script. Like, it was just him being him, and it wasn't like him reading the script.
Right.
That's what I like.
Yeah.
I completely agree with Crystal. I love that it was just very raw, and he was just showed his personality, and every story, you know, it just was really natural.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I definitely think there's something to be said about that. I know that when we first started doing the script, I know it was so hard for us. And I know Mitra pushes the script, especially in the beginning, for people to have structure and have consistency. So I know when we were doing the Healthy Living Revolution calls, when people weren't scripting, they were losing half of the content. They were forgetting to like really share a lot of the good details about the product, or they were missing a chunk of the business. And I know for me, I had a few times where I had guests on that I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm going to have to go back and explain the business plan all over again because half of it was missed. So it's kind of that fine line of, you know, as we're heading into the Healthy Living Revolution, you know, 90-day game plan, where there will be, you know, the same kind of call every night. We need to have that consistency, since we're working with so many different leaders. And if you don't have that trust in consistency, you're more than likely probably not going to invite guests. So there's kind of that fine line. That's why I think for us, guys, it's going to be really important for us to have like our short videos available so that we feel confident that when we are meeting prospects that we can just authentically share our story on a quick video. And that's kind of what we wanted to talk a little bit about today. I just spent most of the day working on videos and learning how to upload and stuff. So my techie brain is like, I got this. So I know, Sarah, you had asked me about, you know, showcasing, you know, how to do a short video, let's say with Brad and me, and then showing it to you guys as an example of what a short video could look like. So then let's say Brad can use that as a tool when his prospects ask. So I'm on it. It's on my list. Hopefully by next team call, I will have that video so that you guys can use it as an example. And then I can start to work with you, and Jen can start to work with, you know, her team, and that we can have those short little videos, because I know that Mitra has been training on this and saying that they're really cool, they're really effective. It's a great short, curious video that people are like, well, tell me more. And then that's when you get them to kind of like a bigger video, which would be like a live Healthy Living Revolution event, you know, that type of stuff online. Okay, it's 8:42. Does anybody else want to say any more comments about the call? No?
I would like to welcome Zenora to the team. She just got on.
Hi, hello, welcome to the team. It's always nice to see new blood. Great. Is she from your area?
Guelph, actually.
Oh, Guelph. Okay, awesome. Yeah. Yay. More people on the, I guess that would be the west side. Time for another event, Brandy. Cool.
For sure.
So next up is Jen Brennan. Jen Brennan has become a little rock star when it comes to in-home events. It's one of the tools that she's been using to build her business. You're famous, I think, in our company for doing the consistent protein ball parties and the salad in a jar parties. And Jen was getting a little, I'm going to say bored of salad in a jar parties, but it's nice to change it up. So she has been venturing off and doing Buddha Bowl parties. And a lot of you have been asking, how do you do them? What do they look like? Are you charging? So I'm going to get Jen to share a little bit about her success with the Buddha Bowls and how she's changing it up this summer. So Jen, fire away.
Thanks, Nicole. How's it going, guys? Okay, yeah, so I've had a lot of people messaging me. So I said to Nicole, I just want to show you guys what we're doing. So then you guys don't have to message me anymore. And I can just tell you all at the exact same time. So you guys all know that Lindsay and I have our salad jar and protein ball party page on Facebook. So if you are considering doing events on a regular basis, I would definitely suggest that you create some kind of Facebook page. Just way easier to maintain it, and then you don't have to send out separate invites every single week. Ours is just salad jar and protein ball party with Jen and Linz. And yeah, we've been consistently doing salad jar parties, the two of us together, since September, every Sunday at 4 p.m. We started switching it back and forth between our two houses, and then it got too big. So we ended up just keeping it at my house, and then it got too big for my house. So we split it up. A couple of the girls on my team started doing their own. So they do them now on Sundays, and they do ball parties during the week. So it's kind of like the group just literally split in half, which is way more manageable. If you are going to be doing these events at your house, whether it be protein ball party, salad jar party, Buddha ball party, whatever, I do not suggest more than 20 people. We've had over 30 people at our ball parties, and it was just like insane. It was too many people. But the Buddha bowls have been kind of what have been inspiring us. So basically, Linz and I always go out for lunch to do our planning together, and we go to Freshie because we both love Buddha bowls. And so I was like, why don't we see if we can do like a Buddha bowl party at the house, because we're getting so sick of our salad jars. I was finding at the end of the week I still had like 3 left over because I just was sick of my salads. So we basically went online, we Googled, we found like 4 or 5 recipes that we really, really loved. And we set up the private event. And so for those of you who don't have a Facebook page like this, I'm just going to scroll back up. It's set up as a group, a secret group. We do it as private, so you have to invite people. And if you click on this little tab here that says more and go to create event, you can do events within the event, okay? So we can have multiple groups up. So for this week, we just had our ball party last night. There were like 25 girls here at my house. And so that one's done now. It's down, obviously down on the list, and we're doing the Buddha Bowl party this weekend. So if I scroll down, And now what we're doing too, guys, is we've created this page just for events. We're actually going to make it like a healthy living page, the combination of the two of us. So we are going to be posting fitness stuff. We're going to be posting stuff about our boot camps. We're going to be posting stuff about online things that we're going to have going on because it's all in the same place. And we're going to utilize that because everybody's on this page anyways together. So what we do is we open it up as an event. And we have our little spiel here at the top. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to choose 2 ingredients, just like you do for salads. And we have the ingredients already laid out here. So this weekend we're doing 5 bowls. Reason being is we always do the Mediterranean, the Southwestern. You can take a picture of this if you want to, or you can just Google them, whatever. The 4 at the top we always use. And then the very bottom one is fresh salad bowl. We always have leftover ingredients every single week. So the very first week we did it, we had so much left over. We all made a Buddha bowl and ate it in my kitchen and drank wine and like kind of had our dinner. Last week we found that we still had leftover stuff. So this way it's kind of like the free-for-all bowl. There's stuff left over, go around, and you're going to leave with 5 Buddha bowls now. So each person is to pick 2 ingredients. And then once they do, they just literally mark it down below, just like they would for the salad jar party. So okay, this person's bringing salsa and lentils. This person is bringing cilantro and sweet potatoes, et cetera, et cetera. Then what we do is 2 days before, so let me go back to my other one. We literally message right underneath their name and tell them how much of what to bring. So let me find, here's our other one. The reason being is that people don't know, A, how to listen, and B, how to figure out that there's like 12 or 15 people going to this Buddha bowl party. How much stuff do I bring? So we literally tell them. So let me show you here. Okay, so cilantro and green onion plus quinoa. So Lynn's is like, you're going to bring 10 cups of quinoa, 5 cups of green onions, and 4 cups of cilantro. So the recipe that we found online, we literally take that recipe and we times it by the amount of people that are coming. So if there's like 1 cup of quinoa in the recipe and there's 12 people coming, we need 12 cups of quinoa. You'll start to figure out that some ingredients are more expensive than others. If you're going to go to Nature's and buy organic quinoa, it's one of the most expensive ingredients. The same with organic non-GMO tofu. So sometimes it's good to split that up from a cost perspective. We're finding that the average girl is spending in between 20 to 25 bucks on their 2 ingredients to come to the party. But you're leaving with 4 or 5 Buddha bowls. If you go to Freshie, you're going to spend 15 bucks on a Buddha bowl. If you make a Buddha bowl at Nature's, you're going to spend at least $15. And so by us telling them exactly what to bring, well, the recipes are already made online. It's a no-brainer. We're literally just taking, sorry, I've got messages popping up here. We're literally just taking what's already been done and timesing it by that many cups. So here you go, another person, 10 cups of quinoa, 12 cups of stir fry mix, and 5 cups of sprouts. And so the more specific you are with the people, they know what to bring, they know what to show up with. We also go to Costco and they sell containers. So Lindsay usually brings the containers. I think it is, if I'm remembering correctly, I think it's $10 for 25 containers. They're like the little Chinese food containers. They're reusable. They're the ones that are rectangular that you get if you go to like order takeout. And then everybody brings back their containers each week. So we always have containers there. That counts as one person's ingredient if they're bringing that, because if they're purchasing 50 takeout containers, that's going to be 20 bucks. So we've always got extra containers left over. I just reuse mine every single week. And then those are already there and provided. And they literally just show up with everything already made. Obviously, it's a little more time consuming than, I'm just going to press stop share here. It's a little bit more time consuming than doing a salad jar party, because a lot of the ingredients you have to prepare, like cooking the sweet potatoes and things like that. But the feedback is that everybody loves the Buddha bowls. Like, we were going to change it to salad jars this week, and everybody's like, no, we want Buddha bowls still, because it's just switching it up. And so we have all of our events planned out. We're doing 2 events a week for the entire summer, and we're literally rotating. So like one Sunday's Buddha and then protein ball parties. Next week is salad and then wine and wellness. The week after is healthy kids snack exchange and then Buddha bowls. So we have something going on one night a week plus Sundays throughout the summer, because the summer is when everyone disappears. And we don't want to lose this momentum. So if you are already doing events, guys, just trust me, do not stop doing them this summer. Do I want to be doing 2 events a week right now? Hell no, okay? I really don't. I want to sit outside on my back patio and just do whatever I want. But when everybody gets over to your house, it's so much fun anyway. So turn it into a social. How do you warm up the Buddha bowl? Do you just remove the ingredient? Yeah, you can remove the raw ingredients and just heat up the quinoa. or you can just eat it cold. It's not a dumb question at all, actually. I didn't heat up any of my stuff. I ate everything cold and it was amazing. The other thing too that we do on our page is I said to Linz, it'd be cute if we could print off a bunch of different recipes so they can take those home. So like your homemade peanut sauce for the Oriental and things like that. And we're like, forget it. That's just too much work. So we just posted them in the group. We're like, I literally went and found 5 dairy and gluten-free recipes and I posted them in the group, and everybody's just been making those on their own at home and adding it to their bootables, and it's been fantastic. So just find a way to do it where it's the least amount of work as possible for you. I know that Lindsay Denike, who's not on tonight, but actually Nat, are you there, girl?
I am.
Can you share a little bit about how Linz did it the other night and the pros and the cons to it? Because she set it up a different way and you were there. I already know, but I thought it'd be cool for you to share.
Sure. So when we went to Lindsay's, I have coconut oil in my hair right now. That's why I'm not showing you guys, because it's like a massive grease ball head.
That's okay.
Just FYI. And no bra with it's just not a good look. So we went to hers on Sunday, and what she did was she actually prepared all the ingredients, which was a hell of a lot of work. I don't know if you saw any of our posts, anybody who's on right now. But Jen and I were talking. She's a bit of a control freak. She loves doing that kind of stuff, so it didn't bother her. And what she did was she just she got the containers for everybody, and she charged everybody $25 to come, and she had 4 different recipes, and then the 5th bowl just sort of make what you want. I mean, you could technically make what you wanted no matter what, but we did it so that we would follow the 4 recipes and then sort of make our own sort of version at the end. And it worked out really well for the people that went there. It was a lot of work for Lindsay, but she didn't mind doing it. She said she liked that. But I think it would be more helpful if like people brought ingredients for sure. It's more cost effective, I think. She was probably out a little bit.
Yeah, she was out a little bit, she told me.
So, but yeah, it was good for the guests because all we had to do was show up, pay $25 and have like 5 amazing bootables, and they were really good. And I've been like, they do go a long way for the, like, as opposed to the salad jars. Like I understand what you're saying, Jen, when your people want to continue with the bootables, because it's like you can share them with your families. Like I just heated one up for my husband right now. I made him a salad on the side. Like it's so easy, and like it's like mealtime done, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Awesome. Thanks, Nat. Yeah,
No
I
problem.
messaged Linz today because I said I wanted to know from like a cost perspective how that worked, because I told her that she was crazy for doing all the prep. Like I had 3 ingredients last week and I was losing my mind because sweet potatoes was one of them, which is obviously the worst one to do because it's the most time consuming. But she wanted to do it all, which is great. And I said, just message me after and let me know. And she said she was out of pocket a little bit. So, you know, if you're afraid that you are going to be out of pocket, I would suggest having people bring ingredients. But if you do want to do it yourself, there's so many different ways of doing it. You probably could even charge people $30. Like if they're leaving with 4 amazing organic bootables, 4 bootables for $30 is a steal. My bootable, honestly, was still fresh on day 7. So like what Nat was saying, I have opened them up and just given them to the kids at night for like with our dinner, and then just cooking some meat on the side because it's something that's just already prepared. And then Tina, you put, do I have a separate wellness phase? Yeah, so I have my own shred page that I run. And then we have this is our combined event page, but we want to start adding more value to it other than just the event. So we're just going to start like throwing a couple posts up during the week in between. Like we put one up about our boot camps this summer. I'm like, why don't we advertise our boot camps on there? Because there's a lot of girls that have been asking about our boot camp. So we just put a post up today because Linz is doing night and I'm doing day. So we're just utilizing it. It's a safe space that people are already there, and just to try and create a little bit more of a vibe. Does anybody have any other questions about bootables? Pretty straightforward. Awesome. Nicole, did you have anything else that you wanted to train on tonight? Because I know we had like 1,000 different ideas of stuff.
Yeah, I think we'll save it for next week. I think that's good stuff. Tina, something to think about, because you're on my street, Jill's on my street, Natalie Wood is in Uxbridge, is we could create our own event page just like Jen did with Lindsay. And then between the 4 of us, and if there's anybody else that are local, like even Nikki, if she wants to participate, the more distributors that we have on an event page, we can start to talk about having, very similar to what Jen's doing, is just, if we can keep up with it this summer, is at least having once a week, and we can rotate and do a protein ball party, and we can do a salad in a jar party, and we can do a Buddha party, and at least have one event a week. And we can rotate it between Jill's house and my house, or whoever wants to do it, so that we at least have a place to go with new prospects. So we can talk about that later. And same with anybody else. Like you saw what Jen did, and she said it was so valuable for her because it made her, Lindsay was her accountability partner. It's really easy when you're alone doing this business. And if you just decide, I'm not going to do an event this week, and then 2 weeks goes by and 3 weeks go by, and all of a sudden 4 weeks go by, and I'm speaking from my own experience. If I don't have somebody kicking my butt to say, when's your next party? Why aren't you doing it? It's easy to hide under the rock and not do it because it's, as Jen said, do I really want to be doing this summer? And again, you have to realize that, we always like to set our goals between conference. And let me tell you, October conference in Florida comes really fast. And I can tell you the number of times you hit September and realize that you did nothing. And you kind of feel a little bit bad where you see other people are flying through the marketing plan. And it's okay. Like I'd say, don't compare. But if you have a goal, don't expect to do nothing and hit it. So on that note, I think that's all we have to say. We've got a lot of events coming up. Just mark your calendar for July 2nd, Monday night. That is going to be the first launch of the Healthy Living Revolution call. There's going to be a flyer coming out probably in the next week to let you guys know. So if you want to write this down, so starting Monday, July 2nd, Mondays at 9 o'clock, that's Eastern Standard Time, Tuesdays at 9 o'clock, Wednesdays at 9 o'clock, and then on Thursdays, this is new, at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time is going to be the Healthy Living Revolution call. So it's actually going to be a daytime. So instead of having 5 calls, which we used to have Sundays, we've just rolled it back to 4. So there's going to be 4 Healthy Living Revolution calls happening for 90 days. So those 4 days, you can bring prospects onto the Zoom call. And it's the best of the best leaders in our company. I did post the schedule. People like, I think I'm in Catherine Lee's group. I'm honored. But Catherine Lee is going to be part of our Thursday pod. And we will be rotating around leaders so that you'll have a variety of leaders in front of the camera sharing their story, their product, the business. Very similar to what Adam is doing, but a little bit more scripted. And there is, if you're not part of there's a private 90-day game page. So a lot of you that were on it last time, you don't need to be added back on. But as of July 2nd, that's where daily posts are going to happen on, they're going to give you what's called a daily action, and you can choose to do it or not. So for those of you that are playing full out and you want to be on that page, let us know, we can add it to you. And we have our Team Be Freedom call tomorrow night. Who's running that, Nikki? Who's on that one?
Me. Yeah, Sarah Mokhtar.
Why don't you promote it and then we will close.
Amazing. We're just about to do our dry run actually after this. So it's myself, Brandy, Shannon, and Stephanie, all bringing some amazing, inspiring stories. And it's tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. So I hope everyone joins and tunes in. It's going to be a good one.
Great. And where's the flyer?
It's on both Team B and Team Hustle.
Perfect. So that was already posted. I'll repost it in the smaller chats. Awesome. Okay. We'll be there to support you, Sarah.
Perfect.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great night. Thanks for joining us, everyone.